It's 2 a.m. again. You're sitting in the dark, staring at the glow of your phone like it holds the answer to your pain. The same woman who said she loved you yesterday now looks at you like a stranger. Her words don't match her eyes. Her tone doesn't match her actions. She wants a man who leads, but the moment you try, she tears you down. She preaches respect, but poisons it in the same breath. You start questioning yourself. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're not enough. Maybe you're losing your mind. But listen closely. You're not crazy. You're not. You're just trapped in something that's slowly breaking you from the inside out. What you're dealing with isn't love. It's control, disguised as affection. And the longer you stay, the smaller you become. Let me tell you exactly when it's time to walk away, and why staying will destroy you piece by piece. Because what's happening to you isn't bad luck. It's a pattern that starts quietly, looks like passion, feels like love, and ends up hollowing you out. The truth hits harder when you finally stop making excuses for her behavior. You start to see the pattern that's been there all along. It's not about one bad day, one argument, or one mood swing. It's a cycle. A psychological loop that keeps you trapped between chaos and calm, love and rejection. Most men never notice it until they're too deep to crawl out. The first red flag almost every guy misses is what I call the control wound. It's the need to dominate disguised as insecurity. Many people grow up without a stable masculine presence, without a father who taught them what respect between man and woman looks like. Without that foundation, safety gets replaced with control. They don't trust peace. They only trust power. Vulnerability to them feels like weakness, and weakness feels like danger. So every time you try to lead, they fight you, not because you are wrong, but because letting go terrifies them. I once worked with a man who dated a woman raised by a single mother. She was brilliant, beautiful, charismatic, and completely allergic to surrender. Every simple decision became a battlefield. Where to eat, what movie to watch, even how to spend a weekend. If he chose something, she'd question it. Not because she had a better idea, but because agreeing meant giving up control. She'd tell him, "Be a man." But the moment he did, she'd tear him apart for it. It wasn't love. It was power, disguised as passion. And that's what so many modern relationships have become. Power struggles wearing the mask of love. They don't want partnership. They want dominance that feels like safety. They say, "I want a strong man," but what they really mean is, "I want someone strong enough to fight me, but soft enough to lose." It's emotional hypocrisy. They crave leadership, but punish it the moment it appears. That's where the confusion sets in. You start doubting yourself. You stop leading. You shrink, thinking maybe that's what keeps the peace. But peace bought with silence isn't peace. It's submission. And the more you surrender your ground, the more chaos grows. Some people don't want equality. They want competition. Every moment becomes a scorecard. Who earns more? Who sacrifices more? Who works harder? Love stops being a partnership and turns into a silent war of validation. Real equality isn't about keeping score. It's about cooperation. Two people building in the same direction. But the modern distortion of equality has turned love into a corporate merger. Everyone wants to be the CEO, and nobody wants to be the team. So you come home to tension instead of comfort, to arguments instead of affection. And you start to realize success in life doesn't mean success in love. You can conquer your career, but if you don't understand emotional balance, your relationship will collapse under the weight of ego. Then comes the inconsistency. Monday, she adores you. Tuesday, she's cold. Wednesday, she wants to move in. Thursday, she needs space. You can feel the emotional whiplash tearing you apart. You start living on edge, waiting for the next shift in tone, the next mood swing that resets the entire relationship. You stop feeling safe. You stop feeling seen. It's not love. It's instability wrapped in sweet words. You can't build something lasting on quicksand. And yet, every time she pulls away, you chase. That's the trap. The moment you reach out first after a fight, the moment you send that "Are you okay?" text, you lose ground. Because what you've just told her, without saying a word, is that her presence matters more than your self-respect. And respect is the foundation of attraction. Once it's gone, everything else crumbles. In toxic dynamics, the one who cares less always holds the power. That's not how it should be, but it's how it is. And when you keep giving more than you get, you end up begging for scraps of affection from someone who's feeding on your effort. You'll start to notice the double standards. You're 5 minutes late. It's disrespect. She's an hour late. You're controlling for even asking why. You forget something. You don't care. She forgets. And somehow, it's still your fault. The rules bend in her favor every time. And if you try to talk about it, it turns into a courtroom. Every conversation becomes a trial you can't win. She twists your words, brings up ancient history, changes the subject until you forget what started the argument in the first place. You walk in trying to solve a problem and walk out defending yourself for something that happened 3 years ago. That's not communication. That's manipulation. It's not two people trying to understand each other. It's one person trying to dominate the narrative. Here's what you need to understand. When someone builds an illusion of being the perfect partner, they can't handle anything that threatens that image. So when you call out the truth, you become the villain. They don't love you. They love the story they've written about themselves. You're just a character in their script. And the moment you stop playing your part, they rewrite you as the problem. When someone like that feels they've fully captured you, attraction dies. Desire needs tension. It needs mystery, unpredictability, polarity. Once they know you'll tolerate anything, the chemistry evaporates. You stop being a man in their eyes and start being furniture, comfortable, predictable, safe. And safety without respect kills desire faster than betrayal ever could. That's when you start to feel it. The quiet distance, the fading spark, the constant sense that no matter what you do, it's never enough. You think maybe if you love harder, give more, sacrifice more, it'll come back, but it won't. Because what's missing isn't love, it's balance. And no amount of effort can fix something that feeds on control. If this message hits something deep inside you, don't just scroll past it. Subscribe now. Every week, I help men see through the noise, reclaim their power, and rebuild peace from the chaos. Your clarity starts here, because healing begins the moment you stop ignoring the truth. After a breakup with someone like this, logic stops existing. You'll think you're having a normal conversation, but you're actually stepping into a storm. One day she misses you so much, she floods your phone with long paragraphs at 3 a.m. The next morning she blocks you. It's not strategy. It's chaos wearing the mask of emotion. What you're watching isn't love. It's instability in real time. She doesn't miss you. She misses control. She misses the rush that comes from knowing she can pull your attention back with a few words. And when you chase that breadcrumb trail, you're not reconnecting. You're re-entering the cycle that broke you the first time. When someone cheats, the damage goes deeper than heartbreak. There's a chemical bond that shifts when they give intimacy to another person. It's not just emotional betrayal, it's biological rewiring. The connection you once felt dies instantly, and you can't bring it back through therapy, apologies, or time. You're fighting brain chemistry, not just behavior, and modern culture has gotten too comfortable excusing that betrayal. Nobody's perfect, they say. Everyone makes mistakes. Sure, mistakes happen, but betrayal isn't a mistake. It's a decision. When you forgive repeated disrespect, you're teaching them that your boundaries are optional. You become the person who always understands, always tolerates, always hopes. But compassion without consequence breeds contempt. And sooner or later, they'll stop respecting you altogether. Because respect dies every time you let someone cross a line and pretend it didn't happen. That's how the addiction starts. Both of you become hooked, not on love, but on the dopamine hits of dysfunction. The fights, the silence, the chase, the reconciliation. It becomes a chemical high disguised as passion. You start mistaking anxiety for attraction. The peace between fights feels like happiness, but it's just relief. You don't love them anymore. You're addicted to surviving them. Real love doesn't demand that kind of suffering. Real love is stable, calm, and consistent. But when you've lived inside chaos long enough, peace feels foreign. You'll find yourself missing the drama because silence feels too quiet. That's not romance, it's withdrawal. You're detoxing from adrenaline. Healthy people have what I call moral breaks, the inner boundary that stops them from crossing lines even when no one's watching. But some people never develop that stop sign. They don't resist temptation because it feels wrong. They only stop if there's a risk of getting caught. Without that internal compass, betrayal isn't an accident. It's inevitable, waiting for the next opportunity. You'll see it in the little things first, the small lies, the contradictions, the way the story changes depending on who's listening. Those aren't quirks, they're warnings. Someone who's comfortable lying about small things will destroy you with big ones. And ignoring it doesn't change who they are. It only teaches them that deceit works. Many people repeat the emotional patterns they grew up watching. If their parents' love was chaos, that's what feels normal. If their mother manipulated to get attention, they learned that control equals safety. They're not doing it on purpose, it's programming. But understanding the code doesn't mean you're supposed to live inside it. You're not their therapist, and you're not their father. You can understand where it came from, but it's not your job to fix it. Some people only feel alive during crisis. Stillness terrifies them. They'll start fights out of thin air just to feel something. They'll pick at old wounds, invent new problems, stir the pot until peace feels impossible. You'll find yourself walking on eggshells around someone who seems allergic to calm. They don't want resolution. They want intensity. Because peace feels like emotional death. When someone lives like that, they'll twist reality to stay the victim. You'll set a boundary, and suddenly, controlling. You'll ask for consistency, and suddenly you're toxic. It's a mind game designed to flip the script, where the one creating chaos gets to play the hero. You can't reason with that. You can't debate your way into understanding. Logic doesn't work on someone who's addicted to drama. It's like trying to solve a storm with a calculator. And the more you try to fix them, the less they respect you. You become their emotional janitor, constantly cleaning up messes you didn't make. You apologize for their reactions. You calm them down when they explode. You explain the obvious to keep the peace. But peace that depends on your exhaustion isn't peace. It's imprisonment. Here's the hardest truth. The more you accommodate chaos, the more chaotic they become. Some people were raised to believe the world should adjust to their feelings. When reality doesn't match that fantasy, they punish it. They punish you. You become the scapegoat for their dissatisfaction. You stop living your life and start managing their emotions like a full-time job. But you can't fix someone who enjoys being broken. You can't save someone who finds comfort in conflict. You'll spend years bleeding empathy into a void, hoping it'll grow into love. It won't. You're not their cure. You're their stability drug. And when they run out of your attention, they'll go looking for their next hit of chaos. And here's the cruel irony. When you finally pull away, they'll come running. Not because they love you, but because they need the high. They'll flood you with affection, nostalgia, promises. But it's not change. It's withdrawal. They're not chasing you. They're chasing the adrenaline of having you back under control. At some point, you stop trying to fix what's been broken for years. The silence after a fight starts feeling better than the make-up sex. The peace you get from not texting her back feels cleaner than any apology she's ever given. That's when it hits you. What you thought was love was really survival. You were holding on, not to her, but to the hope that one day she'd finally see your worth. But hope is a dangerous drug when it's tied to someone who profits from your pain. The world will pressure you to stay. They'll tell you that every relationship takes work, that love is about patience, compromise, forgiveness. And they're right, until the work becomes emotional survival. There's a difference between working on communication and working on your sanity. One builds connection, the other destroys it. Nobody tells you that sometimes working things out just means dying slowly together. And then there's the noise from friends and family. She's not that bad. You're overreacting. Maybe it's just a phase. But they don't live your reality. They don't hear the cold tone behind the "I'm fine." They don't feel the anxiety in your stomach before every conversation. They don't know what it's like to come home to someone who feels more like a test than a partner. People love to give advice when they're not the ones paying the emotional rent. Money traps a lot of men too. We share a lease. We've got joint accounts. It's complicated. Sure, it's complicated. But nothing is more expensive than your peace. You can rebuild finances. You can't rebuild your mind once it's been twisted by constant conflict. The longer you stay for convenience, the more expensive your soul becomes. Every day you spend rationalizing misery is another day you lose pieces of yourself you'll never get back. And if you have kids, that weight cuts even deeper. You tell yourself you're staying for them, that keeping the family together is worth the pain. But kids don't learn love from what you say. They learn it from what you live. When they see you walking on eggshells, apologizing for existing, normalizing disrespect, they don't see a loving home. They see a blueprint for their own future heartbreak. You're not protecting them by staying. You're teaching them that suffering is love. Then there's the fear of loneliness. The whisper in your mind that says, "What if this is as good as it gets?" It's not. Being alone might sting at first, but it's nothing compared to the slow suffocation of being unloved next to someone who doesn't care. Loneliness is temporary. Living in emotional chaos is permanent. You can heal from solitude. You can't heal in a war zone. And yes, I get it. The sunk cost feels like an anchor. You've invested years, shared memories, sacrificed pride. But time spent in dysfunction doesn't make it valuable. It just makes it familiar. The past isn't proof you should stay. It's proof of how much you've already survived. Stop measuring your future by how long you've been hurting. You don't get those years back by staying. You reclaim them by leaving. The clarity moment usually sneaks up on you. It happens in a quiet morning when she's not there, and you suddenly realize you're breathing easier. Your shoulders aren't tight. The air feels lighter. You notice you haven't checked your phone in hours because you're not scared of what message might pop up. That's clarity, the calm after chaos. The part of you that's been suffocating finally exhales. Leaving someone like this isn't a single act. It's a process. You'll doubt yourself. You'll remember only the good moments. You'll romanticize the chaos because your brain has been trained to crave it. You'll mistake withdrawal for nostalgia. But hold the line. The peace that feels boring now is actually freedom. That stillness you can't get used to is what healthy feels like. Over time, the fog clears. You begin to recognize patterns earlier. You stop justifying red flags. You hear manipulation for what it is, a survival tactic, not a love language. The very experience that broke you becomes your protection. Pain turns into pattern recognition. And that's how growth happens, through awareness that costs something. Then comes the rebuilding. You start remembering who you were before the chaos. You reconnect with old friends you'd pushed away. You pick up hobbies you abandoned. You realize how much of your personality had been swallowed by the constant effort to keep someone else calm. Slowly, piece by piece, you rebuild the man you were supposed to be. And when you finally stand on your own again, your standards rise automatically. You stop mistaking drama for depth. You stop chasing people who make you earn the bare minimum. You start craving peace instead of passion, consistency instead of chemistry. The things that used to excite you now exhaust you. That's growth. That's evolution. That's healing. You start seeing love differently. Real love doesn't demand you sacrifice your sanity. Real love doesn't keep score. Real love doesn't make you feel small. It's quiet, steady, safe. It's a place where you rest, not recover. And after you've lived through chaos, that peace feels sacred. That's when you finally understand. You weren't asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong person. The hardest part about leaving isn't walking out the door, it's believing you're allowed to. Because for so long, you've been trained to equate endurance with love. You told yourself that pain meant passion, that patience meant loyalty, that sacrificing your peace made you a good man. But the truth is, staying in something that kills your spirit isn't strength. It's self-abandonment disguised as commitment. When you finally decide to walk away, your mind will start bargaining. It'll whisper, maybe she'll change. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I overreacted. That voice isn't hope. It's trauma talking. It's the echo of years spent minimizing your pain to keep the peace. Don't listen. Because the moment you break free, the chaos you leave behind will fight to pull you back. Not out of love, but out of panic. They'll cycle through every emotional weapon in the book. Love bombing, anger, guilt, begging, promises of change. You'll hear things like, I'll go to therapy. I finally get it. I'll never do that again. But promises made in fear aren't transformation. They're desperation. Real change doesn't happen overnight. It takes years of consistency, self-awareness, and accountability. You can forgive someone without letting them back into your life. You can wish them healing without making yourself their nurse. And that's where most men fail. They go back because society glorifies suffering for love. Stick it out. No relationship is perfect. Real love takes work. Yes, it does, but not this kind of work. Love shouldn't feel like damage control. The kind of work that demands your dignity isn't love. it's survival. Don't let anyone romanticize your exhaustion. Your friends might not understand. Your family might question you. They didn't live in that storm. They didn't see how much of yourself you had to lose just to keep things from exploding. They don't know what it feels like to wake up every day in emotional debt. You don't owe them an explanation. You owe yourself peace. And peace isn't passive. It's not sitting in silence pretending everything's okay. It's the active decision to stop negotiating with chaos, to stop explaining your worth to people who refuse to see it, to stop defending your right to peace. You don't need permission to protect your sanity. You don't need approval to choose yourself. Yes, leaving will hurt. It'll feel empty at first. You'll wake up some mornings and miss the noise because it's all you've known. But that emptiness isn't loneliness. It's detox. You're not missing them. You're missing the chaos your nervous system got addicted to. Give it time. The quiet that feels unbearable now will one day feel like freedom. When you finally get distance, you'll see things clearly. The way you were gaslit into believing your boundaries were control. The way your kindness was turned into weakness. The way your love was used as leverage. And you'll realize, every time you stayed, you taught them how to mistreat you. Every time you forgave without consequence, you signed another lease on your own suffering. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll understand that walking away wasn't cruel. It was necessary. You're not abandoning them. You're abandoning dysfunction. You're not giving up on love. You're giving up on pain. You're not weak for leaving. You're finally strong enough to stop betraying yourself. The world will call you cold. They'll say you changed. Let them, because growth always looks like detachment to the people who benefited from your chaos. You're not meant to stay small so someone else can feel big. You're not here to be the emotional punching bag for someone who mistakes manipulation for love. And when you finally rebuild, you'll move differently. You'll stop chasing intensity. You'll start protecting peace like it's oxygen. You'll recognize red flags at hello. You'll realize that love isn't supposed to feel like anxiety. That you don't have to earn what's meant for you. That you don't have to prove your worth to someone who refuses to see it. The next time someone tells you, you've changed, smile. Because what they really mean is, you've stopped tolerating what you once accepted. And that's growth. That's power. That's freedom. So here's the truth you need to remember. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You can't heal someone who keeps reopening their own wounds. You can't love someone into stability when chaos is their comfort zone. But you can reach and save yourself. You can protect your peace. You can rebuild a life that feels safe, steady. Kiev isn't real. Leaving doesn't make you heartless. It makes you healed. It means you've finally learned the difference between love and addiction, between connection and captivity. It means you've chosen growth over guilt, clarity over confusion, peace over pain. And when you choose peace, you don't lose love. You finally make room for the kind that lasts.